Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The Amotekun have played Saviour rule again in the Yorubaland, precisely in Ondo State, when they help out during the period the wife of the chief of staff to Ekeredun was being kidnapped. And but at the same time, I'm going to read to you some of the write-up, or a write-up that was written by Odumakin, who is the secretary to Afenifere, which is in respect to security lapses still being available in the Yorubaland, and is now calling on the federal government to do something. The question is Amotekun that active, or is it that there are still some loopholes which is yet to be filled? But however, we are going to discover all of that as we dive into the news. The kidnapped wife of the chief of staff to Ondo State Governor, Chief Olubenga Ale, has been rescued by the personnel of the Amotekun Corps in the state. Some of the kidnappers were reportedly arrested by the personnel of the security outfit. Mrs. Ale was kidnapped at Owena in Idare on Thursday night while traveling from Lagos to Akure by the bandits who laid siege on the highway and took her into the forest. It was gathered that the ugly incident happened very close to the military checkpoint in the town. It was gathered that men of the Amotekun Corps swung into action. Immediately, the kidnap case was reported to them. The security outfit, in collaboration with local hunters and vigilantes in the area, reportedly combated the forest in Idenre, and the victim was rescued. Contacting the commandant of the Amotekun Corps, Chief Adetunji Adeleye, confirmed the release of the victim. Adetunji promised to brief the press on how the victim was rescued at a later date. A source in the office of the security outfit confirmed to newsmen that confided that some hoodlums were apprehended in connection with the crime and had been transferred to the state capital, Akure, for interrogation. The source said, "I can confirm to you that the wife of the chief of staff has secured her freedom, and on her way to Akure, she was released without paying the ransom as she was rescued by Amotekun and local hunter." Chief Ale could not be reached for comment, but the family source told us that the victim has reunited with her family. Recall that the abduction of the wife of the governor's aide came barely 24 hours after a first-class monarch, the Olufon of Ifon Oba Israel Adewusi, was murdered by suspected kidnapper at Elegbeke in Ose Council area of the state. Meanwhile, the National Publicity Secretary of Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization Afenifere has spoken about the killing that is going on in Yorubaland, and he released a statement titled "Olufon's Mother and Total Insecurity: Call on Buhari and the governors to get up and secure Nigeria." According to the group, he said that the Gizon mother is coming as we are still recovering. That the Gizon mother of Olufon is coming as we are still recovering from brutal murder of the daughter of Afenifere leader Funke Olakunrin, for which some Fulani headsmen are currently on trial. There have been other multiple murders across Yorubaland, which the police have not been able to resolve. It has reached a point that only very prominent killings get reported in this state of total insecurity in a failed state. The killing of any citizen worries us, how much more a first-class monarch. We ask the police to fish out the killers of Olufon. To President Buhari, it's time to get up and secure Nigeria and allow federal architecture that promotes homeland security. Being the commander-in-chief can be a title with no responsibility. Why are we constructing road to Niger Republic when our roads are literally death traps? That was the word from Afenifere. That's the secretary of Afenifere, in respect to what had happened in Yorubaland. For a while now, there had been multiple killing. I tell you the truth, most of them, just as he had rightly said, has not been reported. The one reported are mostly the ones that affect very senior citizens. For example, in Ondo State, we heard about the Olufon of Ifon, Oba Israel Adeusi, who was murdered, and this is unbecoming. Now, why did they bring in Amotekun? The real essence of bringing in Amotekun was to see how they can help protect the territories of the Yorubaland. And they have been doing their work, but the big question that hits their mind always is, why is it that there is still increase in the number of killings in Yorubaland? It's really shocking, I tell you the whole truth, because my expectation was that immediately they bring them in, they'll be acting as community police. So, but what's the problem right now? Because at some time we see them very effective. At one end also, we seem not to see them very effective. Is it that there's no collaboration between them and the state police? Now, let's just look at some of the things. One of the key issues that must be looked into seriously when it comes to the issue of insecurity is the government to handle the root problems of insecurity. Creating security network or community security or community police, it's very good, I tell you. But let's tell ourselves the truth, and which is, you cannot, in the Nigeria that we found ourselves, you can create up to let me put it this way, have one police to handle 5 people in Nigeria. It's not possible, because already we do not have enough money to take care of the salaries and administrative part of this security network. So what do we do at this point if we cannot employ enough security to take care of this problem? We need to go to the root of the problem and get it solved. Afenifere has spoken of what they have been experiencing, killings on a daily basis. But I tell you how it will be solved is, the root problem is unemployment. Most of these people who are involved in all of this nonsense that we are hearing, killings, sometimes you listen and hear the amount of money given to people to go and kill. Trivial amount. As less, I could still remember on one occasion when some Fulani guys were being caught. How much did they give for you guys to do what you did? 500 naira. Look at the answers issue. The hoodlums that were brought in to fight against and to destroy things. How much at first, when they were arrested in Lagos, they were asked how much they were given. 500 naira and wrap of baraga, Igbo. And that was it. Now imagine if that particular young man is gainfully employed and on a monthly basis he collected something like 30,000 naira. Do you think that he can come so low to collecting 500 naira to cause that level of mayhem? Of course, no. Now, the second thing there that you have to look at seriously is for us to take these children who are on the streets out of the street and see how we can curtail the rate at which people are giving birth. It was shocking for me to hear that in a place like the northern part of Nigeria, that they give birth to as much as more than 1,000 children on a monthly basis. That's what the report had. That on a monthly basis, they give birth to like 1,000 people. Now, giving birth to as much as 1,000 people, who's going to take care of all those kids? Now, those kids come into the world, and after a while, the parents do not have the way without to take care of them, and they are littered everywhere. They start causing problems everywhere. The government must talk to the people, talk to our medical team to hit the local government and see how we can correct this thing. They should give a particular number of children each household need to have, so that we can curtail these children loitering. Because I tell you the whole truth, the children loitering today are the criminals of tomorrow. By the time they start eating from dustbin, they do not have anything that can save their day and all of that. What do you expect? They will begin to eat up the rich. They will begin to feel that the society have not done so well. Just a little tuning of their brain, they will just tilt towards that part. They have a blank heart. They come in, and what do they see? Abandonment by the public. After a while, they form a formidable team, armed team, that will begin to trouble the people. And thirdly, communication. There is no communication, it's not as effective as expected. Look at what saved the day for the wife of the chief of staff to Akeredolu was actually because immediately that thing happened, there was communication immediately. And when there was communication, those people were already equipped and they jumped into action and they could stop the kidnappers from doing what they're supposed to do. These are some of the key things that we need to look at and see how we can correct the trouble in Nigeria. It's happening virtually everywhere. I saw something, a kind of a comprehensive list of people kidnapped in Cross River State. It's almost on every month, not less than 5, 6, 7, and those are even no names. Doctors are kidnapped. Different kind of people are kidnapped. It's widespread in our country. If the security architect is not good enough, change the service chief. And those also at the state level who have abundant money, please do well to take people out of the street. Give them jobs. Unemployment is hitting hard on people. The reason why we are seeing increment in our society is as a result of all of this. Please, it's unbecoming. I'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section. Let's interact. What's the position?